Good afternoon, I'm Rita Raverty, family medicine physician from River Falls, Wisconsin.
And I am Catherine Oyster, family medicine OB at Cottage Grove.
And we're here to give our union bargaining update for the day. We started our morning in bargaining by talking about some on-call issues and updating our on-call proposal. Specifically, we looked at what we would like our proposal to read for what happens when we get inappropriate pages when we're on call. So we updated our proposal and gave that to Alina this morning. Then this afternoon, we had some other things that we wanted to present and get clarity, and Catherine's going to speak to that first.
So we've given the employer our economic proposal. We did that in March, and they have had it for 2 months now. We have gone back and forth about some parts of the economic proposal, but a lot of it is from them is about basically allowing them to continue to have unilateral change authority over us. The specific phrase that they tend to use for these particular articles is they say that they will make changes as determined by the employer from time to time at its discretion. That is the specific verbiage in the contract or the proposal, and that is specifically used in the retirement article, deferred compensation, medical insurance, dental insurance, long-term disability, short-term disability, business travel, leaves, and CME. And really, the point of us unionizing was to basically fight against unilateral change, to have a seat at the table so that we can make primary care sustainable and make it so that we are able to care for our patients. And as far as the bargaining team is concerned, that verbiage in a contract is a non-starter. We are perfectly happy to bargain in good faith over the specifics of leaves as long as there are specifics over which to bargain. And we shared with the employer today our frustration with the lack of detail on their side, despite us having given them a couple revisions at this point of our own proposal with some revisions. So we asked them to look at those specific articles that I mentioned and hopefully provide us with a little more detail for us to be able to move forward and bargain effectively with.
And then I spoke specifically about the leave policy. Alina's proposal to us basically said, leaves will be determined by Alina per our policy and being able to change at their will. I gave a very specific and personal example of a leave that I took a year ago when my daughter became quite ill. I live and practice in Wisconsin, and as we know, Minnesota has a paid caregiver act where if you live and work in Minnesota, you are entitled to paid caregiver leave. Because I live in Wisconsin, there was some question about whether or not I would get that leave even though I work for a corporation based in Minnesota. I did end up getting my paid leave, but it was a really stressful time dealing with both the leave paperwork, that question, and having a sick child. And so my message and our message to Alina leadership was we need specifics about leaves. Our proposal has specifics about bereavement leave, caregiver leave, jury duty leave, one of my other ones, lots of different types of leaves. Parental leave, that we think it's really important that we have specifics. And I ended my message to them by saying, during times like this, if I can't count on my state support and I can't count on my employer, it's really nice to know that I have a union contract that supports my right to take a leave. And I gave that to Alina, and I hope it was well received. So those are our messages to Alina today. and looking for a lot more specificity and details, or at least a cogent response on the detailed contract that we proposed.
If a member is watching this and feeling frustrated like the bargaining team is, how can they help out?
Oh, so on June 3rd, we are picketing outside of 4 different Allina sites from 6 to 7. And the main point of picketing is to show Allina that we are serious about wanting change, wanting a voice on the important things that protect us and protect our ability to provide patient care. The sites are West St. Paul, Maplewood, Bloomington, and Coon Rapids. From 6 to 7, please speak to your local contract organizing team or bargaining team member, if you haven't already, to chat with them about more specifics. It really helps us at the bargaining table to be able to show tangibly to Allina that we are bargaining on what is important to our members, and that you guys are paying attention, active, engaged, and agree with what we're working for.
I would add, speak to your bargaining team member or your CAT member. I'm constantly frustrated that there seems to be this idea that the union is some nebulous group that's out there. And anytime we can show up to an event like this, it shows Allina that the union is actually us. It's not some outside entity that's controlling us. It's us wanting to work for better working environments and pay and support, and actually just having a seat at the table in all of these decisions. So come on out and join us, and if there's any questions, reach out to one of your leadership team members.